I'm overwhelmed by, in spite of the fact of the challenge of 2020, the Taskforce, together with all of you and many other hundreds of participants, managed to participate virtually. We managed to adjust and to engage with the communities. I'm very conscious about the fact that our multicultural communities have contributed so much to what we call modern Australia. But there are still communities and individuals who get left behind. I stand before you today as the first person without an Anglo-Celtic name to put themselves forward as Prime Minister of this country. Think about that, 120 years. So I'm very proud to be here before you with the potential of having, certainly I know my family back in Italy are quite excited about the prospect of having an Albanese as leader of Australia. And I think it will send a good signal about what we can do, what we can achieve as an inclusive country. This report, of course, is a part of a Labor tradition. Way back in the Whitlam government in 1973, we, as the Labor government, adopted, of course, the Racial Discrimination Act. It's something that the current government has tried to weaken during these 8 long years that they've been in government. I want to not just defend multiculturalism, I want to step forward with how we embrace it and take advantage of it and benefit from it, how our multicultural society enriches all of us. And I think for me, in a troubled world where we see conflict, including right now in parts of the world based upon religious or ethnic differences, our great task here in Australia and the opportunity that we have is to be a microcosm for the world, to show that diversity and difference of backgrounds, ethnicity, religious differences, with respect for each other, we are all enriched by that diversity. And I know in my electorate, which is a bit similar to sort of where we are now, Leichhardt in my electorate is the Carlton equivalent, and Coasset in Sydney are very much located in my electorate, and I've had a lot to do with them over the years. But every migrant community as they've come through, the history of Marrickville is called First Stop Marrickville, because it's a place where the Greeks and Italians and then the Lebanese and then the Vietnamese, and in more recent times people from the subcontinent, people from the Pacific, people of all sorts of different backgrounds, Portuguese, have all come through. And so you're left with a community when you go into a local school where you'll have my son. I remember going to see him when he was in primary school at Dulwich Hill Primary, and me saying to him, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "We're doing a song." There was a song in Chinese that they'd all learnt, and how fantastic is that we had people of such diverse backgrounds. What this report does is look at culturally and linguistically diverse communities, engage with them about where is it that improvements can be made, where are you getting left behind. And there are practical suggestions in here that I certainly endorse and that we will turn into practical policies. And I want to congratulate the team, Peter, Anne and others who are part of this task force, including Andrew Giles, the Shadow Minister, Christina Keneally, who couldn't be with us today, for coming up with a document that will lead to practical outcomes.